I've seen extremely competitive senior classes, but I've never been able to introduce 3 STAR students. Let's get started. I've got a lot to say. Apalachee's first STAR student is Ashton Graham. I'll let you hold this when I talk about you. It's going to take a minute. Ashton is a 4-year varsity soccer player and team captain. He is president of HOSA. He is vice president of the Science National Honor Society. He's also a member of NHS, Math Honor Society, Beta, and the Student Athlete Ambassadors. He's also participated in the past in the Youth Leadership Bureau and the Chick-fil-A Leadership Academy. Since 3rd grade, he's volunteered at Special Olympics, and I'm sure he will again this year. He coaches at the Piedmont Soccer Academy, and he's just a really super kind young man. He plans to major in biology and become a doctor, and he's deciding where he'll start that journey soon. I think some scholarships are in his future. It's also really important to note that after all of that, doing all that he does, Ashton is also the 2024 valedictorian of his class. Congratulations, and it's been quite an honor to get to know you. I'm going to let you introduce your STAR teacher.
My STAR teacher that I chose, I had all the way back in 3rd grade. He was the first guy to actually challenge me in my intellect and gave me opportunity to do work for 4th, 5th grade, middle school, all the way back in 3rd grade. But it's not only that why I chose him. The main reason I chose him was the effect he had on me and then all the other people around him outside of like a school, just academic setting. I had this one friend, I'm not gonna say his name, but he was extremely smart as well. It's just, he had some other things that held him back. And Mr. McCoy was the first person I saw that gave him the opportunity to showcase his knowledge in another way. And he was one of the other smartest kids at the school. So for that reason, I chose Mr. Carl McCoy as my STAR teacher.
Thank you, wow. I don't know what to say, but I'll say thank you to the Chamber of Commerce. It does mean a lot to be recognized. And thank you, Ashton. That was very kind of you to say. I thought I'd tell a story about Ashton from the first day of school in 3rd grade, back when, that kind of says it all about him. Everything that his principal said comes out in the story. Forgive me if I get the dates wrong, it's been a decade. But during our morning announcements, we would recognize, okay, you guys, you're graduating in what year? And they were all saying 2024. So I cracked the joke, oh, you're making me feel old. Then I put a problem on the board and I said, well, I graduated in 1988. And how many years would pass in between your graduation date and my graduation date? And the kids all puzzled. And this guy here, you have to picture an elementary school classroom 15 minutes into the first day of school. It's all about chill out, take your supplies out, it's a big mess. And this guy, he's got to solve the problem. So he tears into his pencil pack. Pencils fall all over the floor. He runs to the sharpener, he sharpens it, he solves the problem. He's raising his hand, and it looks like if I don't call on him, he's gonna burst. Okay, so I called on him, and he came up with the right answer, of course. And he said, 36 years. And one of the other students said, so does that mean you're 36? Or does that mean that you'll be 36 when we graduate? Well, thank you for that. No, for either one. And I said, well, maybe we can figure that out. And so this guy, he starts figuring it out. And I said, well, some of the other kids have obviously figured it out too. And I said, well, Ashton, pick a couple kids, be in a group with you, see if you can figure out how old I really am. So he picked 2 of his friends. And then I went on to show the other kids how to do the first problem. And when we were done, I called on Ashton and said, Ashton, how old am I? And he said, can I let him say it? And it didn't dawn on me then, but the kid that he picked was one of his friends, and this kid struggled in math, as I learned as the months went by. And he let this kid say it, he let this kid explain it. Furthermore, while that kid explained it, he went and picked up his pencils off the floor. So it was an honor to teach you, and you left me with lots of stories like that, but that's the one that really stands out. And good luck, and you're going to make a fine gastroenterologist.
Being star teacher at Apalachee years ago was the greatest honor of my career, and so it was really exciting for me to see an elementary school teacher chosen, and Ashton was really clear about he started me off right and changed my education, so I'm really excited for the two of them. Our second star student is Nathaniel Magus. I'm glad he's here and on time. When we were honoring a lot of academic honors, our top 10, our star students, our Val, our Sal, we waited on him. He made a grand entrance, and that's who he is, and we love seeing him in our hallways and doing all that he does. He's an asset to Apalachee. Nathaniel was a member of the golf team for 1 year. He has played football for 4 years as a linebacker, right? All the things. He plans to receive a bachelor's in business administration from the University of North Georgia, and I think he'll do fine with that as he currently has a 3.83 GPA. Nathaniel, please introduce your star teacher. And he's struggling with his voice, so we're gonna
I'm gonna whisper for y'all today. So I picked Miss Stephanie Atkinson because she just changed my outlook on school in general. I've always been somebody who really likes numbers, and they always click to me. But whenever I walked in her classroom, from day one, she just made me love literature. She pushed me every day, and that's the reason I ended up taking the college classes I did. I ended up taking English level 1, level 2 because of her, and I just appreciate her as a person. Thank you.
I'm going to summarize. He said he always loved numbers until he was in Miss Atkinson's literature class. She taught him to love literature, and then he went on to take English 1101 and is the man he is today because of you, Miss Atkinson.
Good morning. It's unusual that he can't speak because he's always speaking, so we're finally caught up with him. Max is his nickname. Was in the 10th grade. He was a great writer. He would ask for feedback. A lot of kids get really angry when you give them constructive feedback. He'd rewrite. He was great in his writing, and we had many Socratic seminars and debates, and he would handle himself well, always. A couple times I might have to say, okay, hold on for just a second. But I will say that you were always, and you still are, the voice for the underdog. I started my day out with you, and we won't use names, as you said earlier, but we had a young man in our class that was so super intelligent, but behavior would get in the way, and he would always push him. And if he could, sometimes I think he thought I was about to tackle the kid, so he would have a stance, but he was always the voice for the underdog, and would point it out. And when we would do that, and you remember, this young man was one of the smartest kids. He would speak up and he would get involved. And you were the only person who could do that. We were speaking at the table about maybe teaching. I don't know about that, but I think you would do it all. And I also want to say a great support system all around from the parents. I only have sons, and you've done such a great job. He's kind, handsome, and I'm sorry, did that sound inappropriate? I'm older than his parents. Yes, okay. There you go. But you've done a great job, and this is the beginning of some really great memories. Just hold it back a little bit. And continue asking those questions. He would ask the right questions, and I actually want to end on this. Where do you stand with Julius Caesar? With Brutus? Did Brutus do it? Did he have daddy issues, or did he do it for Rome?
I don't remember.
Congratulations. Super proud of you.
All right. Everyone need coffee? Y'all got time for one more? Apalachee's third star student is Colton Whaley. So Colton has played soccer for 4 years and club soccer for 2. And the last 2 soccer games where I was freezing in so many layers, I don't think he was, and he never stopped talking to his teammates, encouraging them, telling them where to be and how to get better, but it was so positive and encouraging the whole game. So every time I was walking a lap and getting back to where he was standing, I couldn't wait to hear his encouragement of his team. He also played football his senior year. He is vice president of TSA. Colton participated in Youth Leadership Barrow, and he volunteered as a coach for 2 years and worked as a YMCA camp counselor for 2 summers. He's received the Georgia Certificate of Merit in 2023, a Scholar Athlete Award in 2023, and Student of the Month in September of 2022. Colton is in the top 10 of the senior class, and he plans to major in accounting at UGA. Go Dogs. Colton, congratulations, and please tell us also why you chose your star teacher.
Before I got in Miss Atkinson's class, I had never liked English at all. I hated it. But once I had her as a teacher, she pushed me to develop new ideas and really be able to put my words onto paper and say what I wanted to say. She really inspired me to become a better student, and with her help, I was able to now write a lot better, put everything out on paper that I want to say in ways that would not be possible without her as a teacher. Thank you.
Hello again. Huge honor. And these two have the same YouTube, Max. And this is Sunshine, by the way. Sunshine because, remember the Titans, right? Sunshine, so that was his nickname.
I just watched this week.
Where this guy was the voice for the underdog, this young man is one of the few students in 27 years of teaching that actually listens more than he talks. And in class, when we would have debates, he would listen, and when you would raise your hand, and he would participate, but when he would raise his hand, the kids would give you more attention than they ever gave me. Number one, because you listened, but number two, because I know that your parents instilled in you kindness, and you respected others, and you listened to them, and again, you listened more than you spoke, and I always stood out. And the smile. You can't look at the smile with the eyes, too. Again, great writer, but I was saying to you earlier, and again, it's been a while, but I always remembered you. I thought I remembered you having like philosophy quotes, and you would speak up, and I'm like, how old are you, 50, 55? But you would say things, especially Julius Caesar, that's my favorite. And he would make a comment and say that this philosopher said this, but truly, when I would look out at your peers, they truly were focused on you, and that's a great power that I hope you continue to use when people listen. Because I think we're in a time where we listen sometimes to the wrong people, and you had it right every single time. And your parents, great support system, kind, people love you. And he's always smiling. I've never seen you once not smile. And as I tell my students, it doesn't mean that you're not having a bad day, but you were able to come in there and turn it around if it was a bad day and be positive for everybody else. So, again, you're going to have a great college career, and I hope you continue to inspire people, because both of you, I cannot tell you, this is a colossal honor of any that I've gotten in this amount of time. I'm super proud of you. And thank you, parents. Like, these are the people that you need to talk to, but don't forget your counselors. Miss Rayburn's here this year, but she's awesome. We love her, by the way, at Apalachee. Anyway, I'll be quiet, because I know y'all. I love you, young men. And I also taught Ashton, you couldn't have chosen, of course, you earned this. There's not three better people that could be standing up here. And Apalachee should be very proud. And I'll be quiet, but congratulations.
She's absolutely right. There aren't three better representatives of Apalachee than these three young men. And I want to just state really quickly that the three of them chose their teachers separate from each other. They were not in the same room when they chose, and they all three knew immediately who they wanted to pick. They knew immediately who had had the biggest impact on their educational careers thus far. And they chose Miss Atkinson separately, which I think is a really big honor for her. And an elementary school teacher is the highlight of all of this. Thank you, three gentlemen, for being my first great 3-star students.